Hello SLAPAFISH community, and welcome back to another World Tanks console video. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a tank review on the brand new Tier 10 Chinese heavy tank, which is available in the premium tech tree all the way to the Ray for 450,000 free XP. So this tank actually has a very unique feature on this tank. It has a fire, every time it fires in third person, you'll see this tank breathe fire, but when you're shooting in sniper view, you won't be able to see it. But other people around you will be able to see it, so it's pretty cool when you see the tank actually fire in like third person, or you're just watching somebody driving one of these tanks and they fire. It's just like breathing fire after it fires. It's pretty cool. So anyway, let's just jump into the tank comparison. So basically, I'm going to be comparing the Qilin to the 5A to the WZ-277. Basically because the WZ-111 5A is basically the Qilin. It just hits harder and other things about it. And the Qilin just looks so much better. And 277 is a tank that plays very similar to these two. So all three tanks are Tier 10. The 277 is the heaviest, has the best horsepower to weight ratio, and is also the fastest at 55. But the two WZs are not far behind it at 50. But the track rotation on the 277 is the worst, and terrain resistance is. But the turret speed on the Qilin is actually faster than the WZ-111 5A. So all tanks get a 130mm gun. I did not actually know the 277 got a 130mm gun. I always thought it got a 122mm gun that does 448 alpha. So apparently this review showed me wrong. So anyway, so the Qilin has the longest reload because it does the highest amount of damage, but you'll see that later. Well, you can actually see it down here, but ignore that. Anytime is the same as the tech tree version, and accuracy same tech tree version. The 277 has the best accuracy, but the Qilin has the best moving dispersions. It also has the worst rotating deterrent dispersion. Both WZ-111 5As have 23 gun elevation and 7 degrees of gun direction. So the 277 and the 5A both hit for 490. But the Qilin actually hits for 560, which is very, very nice. Now, the penetration are really the same on all of the tanks, except for the center penetration on the 277, which is 15mm more. Splash is the same. Shell velocity is the same on all three tanks, no matter what shell you fire, which is 930 shell velocity, which actually kind of feels slow when especially when you're sniping in this tank. Now, the WZ-111 5A actually has the highest DPM and the highest rounds per minute, but the Qilin is not very far behind it, with only 22 less DPM. And rate of fire, it fires 4.65 rounds per minute, so it's okay. But it also has the highest potential damage at 22,400 because it's higher alpha. Now, the turret armor, all three of these turrets are really nice, especially the 277s in the side. So, pretty much if you go hold down, they're not really going to hit you, pin you in the front of your turret. Both tanks have the cupolars in about the same position. Yes. As I pull up the 277, as I look at this, yeah, 277 has one less cupolar, so it's okay. But the cupolars are pretty strong. Hull armor is 140 at the front, but 277 has weird hull armor, so this is a lie. 120 at the side for the two WZs, that's a lie because there's a small thin bar on top of the side armor of the WZ 5As, the Qilin the 5A. The rail side armor of the Qilin and the 5A is actually 80mm thick. Side armor is sucky on all three tanks. All three tanks. View range is 400. Signal range is the worst on the 277. They all have 2,200 hit points. For some reason, the 277 has a higher concealment. while stationary, but not while moving, so that's weird. And since the Qilin is a premium free XP tank, that is a tier 10, it gets a 5% XP boost like all other tier 10s before that are premium tanks. Alright, so now let's go jump into some gameplay of this tank. Alright, so we ended up on Fisherman's Bay with the Qilin, and as you can see, the Qilin kind of looks like a dragon. It's got a dragon head, and every time you fire, it breathes fire. And so, I've watched through this replay, I just completely forgot to show you the gun, how it fires, and it just breathes fire, so I'll try to remember at the very beginning of this video to just show you like gameplay of it, just breathing fire and stuff like that, because I've shot it so many times just seeing what it looks like. But I think I do show it 2 or 3 times in third person, so you actually get to see what the gun actually looks like if you just completely ignore the front of this video. So it's okay. So before I actually start jumping into talking about the gameplay, I want to talk about what I have this tank equipped as. Basically, I have a gun rammer, gunling drive, and crew vents. In my crew, it's actually a pretty good crew. It has 12 perks on it. It has repairs, firefighting, swimming lessons, smooth ride, controlled impact, deadeye, mentor, off-road driving, sixth sense, brothers in arms, snapshot, and training adrenaline rush. Now, I wish I actually had adrenaline rush on here before all the other perks, but who cares? This is not really this crew actually goes into my WZ-111, I think. No, it's just called the 121. So yeah, it doesn't really need a adrenaline rush for that tank. I mean, it could take it, but who cares? I'm not talking about that tank. So, as you can see, we just hit that Death Star for 646. And I've actually, not trying to bounce shots around this corner because I know it's just the Death Star there and the Valor. And the Valor's not going to pop around that corner. And the Death Star is going to try to side scrape because he thinks he can, but he's not. He really can't because, one, the Death Star has really weak side armor, so I can pin him really easy, especially at the angle. And also, the Death Star has a weak point on the side, which I'm aiming at. So, yeah, it's not really going to work. And he's also behind bushes, so every time I fire, I'm not going to get spotted unless here. Look, I did get spotted. Ta-da! Magic. Then I realized there's a Valor behind me. I was like, whoa, what is this heavy tank? So this King Dragon actually is going to pop up there, but I want to fire at this T10 and try to pin him, try to do like 560 damage to him, and hopefully blow his ammo right. But I completely missed, so that's okay. There's a Valor. Tracked him in place, hit him for 579. Now this alpha damage actually feels really, really nice. And Super Conqueror just tried to pin me right there. For some strange reason. He thought he could. But I just hit him for 577 and third person mode. So you actually get to see the gun breathe fire. And now the Valor's dead. So I'm like, okay. Now I'm just going to hit the T10 for 573. If you're wondering my reload, it's a 10.21. It's the fastest that you can get it down with without adrenaline rush. And remember, I don't have adrenaline rush on this tank, it's just training. So it's one of those things that does not activate until you got it fully done trained. And you're below 10% of your health. So, and I think that was an artillery shot. It might have been a Conqueror shot, but whoever it was, I avoided it. And now I save my hit points to take that shot from the Super Conqueror to leave me down with 77 hit points. Now, if I actually had adrenaline rush, my reload would be so much more nice, but I don't. And now it's just time for me to fight the Super Conqueror that is hold down, but keeps forgetting that I'm here, so I get to pop a shot in the side of his turret every time he forgets I'm here. So yeah, that's how that life goes. He forgets I'm here sometimes. And somehow I just bet him right there for 636. I might have hit the lower's plate. But you'll see he'll be aiming at me. Then out of nowhere he'll just turn his turret. You see? There he goes. But yeah, I don't know. He knows I'm here. He knows how hard I hit. He knows I'm a one-shot. But he forgets about me. funny, actually. But who cares? Super Conqueror just needs one more hit. And there he goes, he's dead. And somebody told me to fall back. It's the Valor that has almost full health. So, for some reason, I'm still leading this push with 77 hit points. Because I want to do more damage. Just because I can. And there's artillery. I can definitely one-shot him. With this high alpha at 560. The high alpha in this tank just feels really nice. It does. 560 feels really nice. It's better than 490. The 5A, not 5A, the Qilin just has the perfect reload and the perfect damage. What does that mean? It doesn't hit really hard for like 700 something that gives it a long reload for like as fast as you can get it down to is like 14, 15, 16 seconds. No. Your reload is like 10 seconds. And you're hitting for 560. You don't have low alpha like 440 or 490 that you found on the IS-7 or IS-4. Or the 400 or 390s that you found on other tier 10 heavy tanks. The alpha just is there in the middle. It's just there. It's just like at the perfect spot. It's got the right reload and it's got the right alpha. So it feels really nice when it hits and pins. And also you can hit like Waffen Traeger E100s in 4005 or anything that has weak armor with your high explosive round, do almost 800 damage. And sometimes you will high roll for 700, which is very, very nice. And I think the lowest the highest you can actually high roll is 700. But in my first game, I high rolled twice for like 680, which is really close to 700. And that just feels really, really nice. Also, the lowest you can actually roll for on your AP rounds is 420 damage. Well, which that ain't bad. Especially when your reload is 420, when you're 10 seconds and you're hitting for 420. That's your lowest you could roll. But also, because my alpha and my really good reload, I just two-shot that tier 8 tank destroyer, and he couldn't do a thing to me. So yeah. Just overmatched his armor. Didn't really need to overmatch him. Because I had plenty enough pen, and I just missed my shot on the 53-55. And I knew, it was like, hey, if I kept pushing up, I'm going to get shot by Artie. And apparently I didn't. He did fire a shot at me, but missed, then went to other people. But anyway, I only fired once in third-person mode in that game, so... Yep. So basically, we got a victory, made 68,000 silver. Did 5,657 damage, assisted 1,400, blocked 1,230, and got top of the leaderboards. That's it for this video. If you like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also remember to SLAPAFISH because one of you's not, and peace out. See ya.